functions in JavaScript, and if you have enough time, we'll try to cover Drupal 8 and change it like greens. But before we go any further, I would like a show of hands. Who is the front-end developer here? Okay. Who is using JavaScript in their day-to-day business? Okay. And from those of you that uses JavaScript, is anyone here has no idea how it works in Drupal? Okay, so I'm going to try and move a little bit faster in Drupal 7 and maybe spend a little more time in the Drupal 8 changes. Good. How we add JavaScript to the page. In Drupal 7, there are 3 ways to do it. The first way is to basically have a file and declare it in your info file of your module, and this file will be added to your page, to all the page basically, whenever you need it or you don't. Then there is a function in Drupal, add JavaScript, that will add your JavaScript file to the page. This is a little bit better because you can invoke this whenever you need it, and if you don't need that JavaScript file, you can basically not add it to your page. Or you can use the render arrays, which is a nice thing introduced in Drupal 7 and more heavily used in Drupal 8. And just declare that that piece of content needs to have a JavaScript file or a CSS file attached to it, or even a library. For a theme, there are 2 ways in Drupal. Either in your info file, you just declare it normally like a module once, and it will be loaded to all your pages. Or you can use Drupal add JavaScript JS from the book preprocess HTML. And this works because the HTML when it's rendered and the scripts are added to the HTML is after the preprocessing, the process stage. Okay, now when you're using Drupal, you're basically using different libraries, different code from different people. So one way to isolate your code from theirs and to basically protect yourself from their mistakes and them from your mistakes is to use closures. Closure is just a nice way to say an anonymous function. And this helps you in a couple of ways. First of all, if you make a mistake, you only break your code. For example, if you override a window variable outside this function, you broke nothing. It allows you, for example, to use dollar for jQuery, even if jQuery no conflict has been invoked. And that's about it. Next, how to add some variables from PHP to your JavaScript code. For example, you want to connect to an API from JavaScript, but you need a key, an access to your token, something that authenticates you and allows you to use that API. You obviously want to create a form where the end user can put that key, but that's in PHP. So you need to send it to JavaScript. Using the Drupal app.js with a parameter of setting, you can add an array in PHP, and it will be available to you in JavaScript. Okay. Now, behaviors. This is a Drupalism. It's not available. It's not a feature of other JavaScript libraries. In Drupal, behaviors is a way of dealing with attaching and detaching functionalities to content that's added to the page at runtime. It's invoked by Drupal automatically whenever new content is added to the page with its Ajax framework. And basically, there are just objects in the Drupal behaviors namespace, and these objects need to have at least an attach method and optionally a detach method. So they look basically something like this. You have a name for your behavior. You have an attach and a detach method. optional. And this is an example where I think we're building a big slider. Yeah. And this example also has a detach. If your content is removed from the page, BX slider will be destroyed. But you don't need this all the time. Okay, but this introduces a problem. When adding your content to the page, you need, and you're not using the Drupal Ajax framework, you need to attach yourself the behavior to that content. So basically you need to invoke Drupal attach behaviors. A good way to invoke Drupal attach behaviors is by passing the context. The context being the content you inserted into the page. That ensures that the JavaScript code will be run only on that piece of the page. If you pass no context, what will happen is you will basically execute the second time attach behaviors on the whole page. And if some code is not protected against this, that code will run twice for the same content. Now, if you want to protect yourself against this, Drupal introduces a method called once. This method basically ensures that your code is executed only once on the same content. You can call it in two ways. One way is you pass a string key and a handler, and that handler will be executed only one time, even if that gets invoked a second or third time. And the other option is to call it without a handler, and then everything that's after it will be executed only one time. And how this works is by adding a class derived from that string key to the content that you are attaching to. And this is an example where you are calling once with a key notification, and then the click handler will be attached only once, even if Drupal behavior is run multiple times. And the second example where you pass the handler to the once method, and beside that you basically the same thing. Moving on to libraries. Libraries are just a collection of JavaScript and CSS files that share a common scope, that implement a functionality. They allow you to add all this in just one step. And more interesting than that, allow you to define dependencies. One example is of adding a library to the page is this one, Drupal add library, and this is the name of the module, this is the name of the library. Or for a rank array, it's an array with two values, the module and the library name. To define your own libraries, you need to use the hook library, and if you want to alter libraries defined by other modules, you will use hook library alter. Okay, this is an example of a library. This is actually taken from core. This is the UI coordinate library. First of all, you define some meta information about the library, like what's the title, where you can find it on the internet, maybe the version, or you can use a callback that will extract the version from the library. Then you define the assets, the JavaScript file, the CSS file, files maybe, and then the dependencies. For example, UI acronym depends on jQuery UI, so we define that. Okay. Next, we will talk about Ajax framework. Ajax, in short, is a technique that updates content on the page from the server without page refresh. I'm sure everybody knows about this. This is just a wrapper for Ajax that makes it easier to use, and you have to write less code. Ajax framework implements some commands by default and allows you to implement more if you want to. Some examples are listed here, like inset before and after. That's an append before or after a content. Replace. Invoke basically invokes whatever you need. It's a little bit more generalized. And settings, add some settings to your page. Or you can just search for the Ajax from the comments and you will see the full list. If you want to, and the Ajax command basically in PHP looks like an array with some keys. And if you return that from your callback in PHP, in JavaScript you will receive a JSON object with the same keys, with method, content, and command name, and that allows the Ajax.js file to find the command you need and execute it. If you want to implement a new command, you just need to create a function in the long namespace Ajax prototype command my command, and you put your custom code here, and then in PHP you can return that command, and it will be executed by the Ajax framework. Now we have an example of how it works. You print somewhere in the page a link. This link does this link shows you what time it is. You put a link in the page and you add to the URL a parameter that allows this to have a graceful degradation. If JavaScript is not enabled in the browser, then the Node.js part will stay there, and in the backend you will know that this request doesn't come from JavaScript. If JavaScript is enabled, the Ajax framework will replace Node.js with Ajax before sending the Ajax command. So you will know in the backend that this request is from Ajax. Then you add the Ajax parameter on the render array, and here you define, you leave everything as default, you define only that the effect is fade. An alternative way is to put a class, use Ajax on an element, and Drupal will automatically use this behavior on that element. We need that now to define a menu item in the backend. It needs to receive a parameter. If you remember, this was Node.js and Ajax. It has to be a normal callback. And you define the callback for that menu item, where you generate the content, in this case of the current time. Then, if this request was made via Ajax, you construct an Ajax command and you just deliver it with Ajax deliver. If it was not an Ajax request, then you just return the markup and it will be placed on the page. So this works even with JavaScript disabled. This framework also has some integration with the form API. You only write some code in the form generation that takes into account the values that are passed from the previous submission, and return something and it works. So on the element that triggers the Ajax behavior, you have to define the hash Ajax parameter. You will specify which part of the form will be replaced by what's coming back from the backend. You provide a callback that will basically return only what's needed, only what's changed. And as I said before, you need to take into account the values that are passed to your form builder, because when you build a form, you're not sure if it's built for the first time or this is after a using the wonderful module examples. And I will have one now, where you have two dropdowns, and the values from the second dropdown is based on the value from the first dropdown. The first dropdown, we define an Ajax that works with Ajax. The callback is dependent dropdown callback, and the wrapper of the content that will be replaced is dropdown second replace. On the second dropdown, we prefix it with dropdown second replace, so that means that the whole element will be replaced when Ajax happens. We define a function to get the options based on the first dropdown, the value from the first dropdown. So we take into account that this will be a second submission when the first dropdown has changed and triggered this Ajax request. And if there's nothing there, we generate something by default. And this is the callback that returns only what's needed to be replaced on the form, namely the second dropdown. This task could also be accomplished without using Ajax if you use the States API 777. States API, okay, not exactly this task, but something similar. States API allows you to define dependencies between form elements in the frontend. Dependencies such as if you have a dropdown with some options, and the last one is other, and the end user selects other, show a text field where he can put something of his own will. This is defined also in a parameter for the render array, and it has a form here, what action needs to happen, and what are the conditions. For example, for this to be checked, the input with name or info needs to be filled. Conditional fields is a module that builds the UI for fields on this API. But that only works for fields. States API works for every form. You can find examples again in the examples for the first module. I have one quick one now. So you have a source, where you have some checkboxes with some options, and the last option is after. And the second element, where you present a text field, where you can write free text, and we say that this is visible only if the source has the value others. And okay, these are the necessary elements for this work. Okay, moving on. Drupal.theme. In Drupal 7 and in Drupal 8, there is a little known functionality in JavaScript that's the counterpart to theme in PHP, where you define theme functions to generate a markup, and then you invoke them, and they are easily extendable by others. You just define a method in the prototype of Drupal.theme, and to invoke it, you call Drupal.theme with the same key. In this case, display name, which is just basically a link to a user. But the nice thing is that if somebody needs to alter all the usages of this function, you can just define a new function with a wrapper, for example, and all places where this function is used will have this new markup and this new implementation. Right now, in core Drupal 7, right now, that's probably going to be forever, there's just one implementation for this. It's called placeholder, and nothing else. It was added very late in the Drupal 7 lifecycle, not enough support for it, but the framework is there, it can be used. everything from CSS. So you decide, okay, I'm gonna alter the checkbox system in PHP, put some markup there, and everything will be fine. And then some module, let's say Faces API, implements some checkboxes from JavaScript, and they do not pass through the PHP theme function. That it would be nice if they would pass through a JavaScript theme function, and you can alter it and have a consistent loop of checkboxes on your site. Okay. I come to this. And Drupal. In Drupal 7, you can translate strings that are added in JavaScript. It has support in JavaScript. You basically just wrap your text with Drupal.t. This is not real multilingual support the way it works in PHP. What happens is that Drupal parses all the JavaScript files with a regex and extract all the text that's inside Drupal.t's. And then that text is translated to the backend and it's added back to the page when it's needed. So basically you cannot translate variables, you cannot translate anything else than strings because the regex will fail. It cannot be executed before it's translated. Okay, and of course it has to be in English, like everything else in Drupal 7. Source should be in English for it to work. There are other APIs that I will not go so much into. For example, autocomplete, which is a very simple one. It allows you to have autocomplete for text fields. It's used in core for users and something else. Sure. But basically, you put on a form API element a property autocomplete path. You put a path there. You define that callback. It gets the string that's in the text field, and you need to return a JSON that has keys and values. And that's all. And they will appear in front end. Okay. Table drag is also an API. In Drupal 7, it allows you to build tables where you can change some weights for elements. For example, blocks or blocks. Blocks use this API. It's not so easy to implement. It's just a shout out that this exists. I'm not going to go into it. Okay, now for Drupal 8. In Drupal 8, there are a lot of changes. Some of them are just name changes, like I put here Drupal.settings is now just one object, Drupal settings. You don't need to define a prototype to define a theme anymore. You just that way out. Now you have to define a method for theming a prototype. Before, Drupal.theme.prototype was just basically a list of all the theme implementations. The Ajax comments are also a shorter namespace. And the biggest change in Drupal 8 is that they try to make it very, very hard to add JavaScript to every single page. And for a good reason, there are a lot of pages where you don't need anything, not even jQuery, for example, in front end. So what happens here is that nothing gets added to the page by default. Nothing. If you want to add some JavaScript to a page, you have to assume that nothing is there. If you need jQuery, you need to declare that your code depends on jQuery. If you need underscore, you need to define that your code depends on underscore. The main way to add JavaScript and CSS to a page is through libraries. In order to define a library, you define a YAML file in your module. In this example, call this library the name of your library. This is the version. library are a CSS file and a JavaScript file. And also, as I told you, you need to declare that your library depends on jQuery. If you don't declare this, you will not have jQuery in the page, probably. It could happen that another library declares that dependency and you will have it because of that, but you cannot be sure. After you define a library, you attach it to something. An example here is how to attach it to some content that's already been created somewhere else. You, for example, if you want to add some library to all the tables in the site, in your module, you run the hook element info alter, and if there is a table element type, then you attach to it your library. And every time a table will be generated, your library will be attached to that and rendered in the page. If you are building your own content and you want to attach a library, in your element, you just put attached library and the name of the library. As you've noticed, now you don't need to have two elements in an array. This becomes a single string, my module / library name. If, however, you want to attach a library to all the pages, because, for example, it doesn't belong to any content in the page, or it belongs to a lot of elements in the page, as is this example with contextual links module. In Drupal 8, there is a hook. It's called hook page attachments, and this allows you to attach a library to the page render array. In this case, if the current user doesn't have access to the contextual links, then the return this issue, and then basically the contextual links library will not be added to the page. If it has access, then this will execute and the contextual links library will be added to the page. How to attach settings? The same way, but instead of library, you use the key name Drupal settings. And everything afterwards will be available in JavaScript in Drupal settings, the Drupal settings object. So in this case, there will be Drupal settings dot my module dot lovely slider dot full. Inline JavaScript, very discouraged. Nobody likes it. It's hard to maintain. It probably cannot be cached and aggregated. By cached, I mean in the browser, the request. And yeah, not testable, and so on. But if you necessarily need to add something to the page, for example, ads or social media content, or I don't know, listing widgets or whatever, you could create a block with that JavaScript, and that block will be put in the page, and the JavaScript will be executed, and that's going to be fine. Or you can put it directly inside the page template. And again, that will be directly in the page. If your content, your inline JavaScript affects the entire page, maybe you don't want to build a block. Maybe you just want to put it in the page somewhere that's on all pages. the use of strict mode. This is accomplished by just putting inside your script the string use script. That's all, and that works. What this does is it changes the way JavaScript is executed. What it accomplishes that some common coding mistakes are caught and the exceptions are thrown instead of going forward with the execution. It means that if you make a mistake, you will not end up on live and break 5 lines later if you don't know why. You will break now, you will catch it, you will fix it. It disables some features also and some language constructs. And I'm going to go through the list now. It forces you to define all your variables. If you use a variable that hasn't been declared, it will throw an exception. Deleting a variable, a function, or an argument will result in an error. You can only delete object properties. Defining a property more than once in an object literal will cause an exception to be thrown. So basically, by mistake, you get some code, you copy it. Months later, you put something else in the code, like 500 lines down, and you overwrite something that was declared up in the code. And then it breaks. This will not happen if the strict mode is enabled. It's disabled eval. Well, not eval is evil. You cannot even use eval as a valid string in your variables anywhere. Whenever it meets the word eval, it will fail. It will throw an exception. These are the most important things that happen. Also in Drupal 8, we have more libraries. As in, we have jQuery 2, we have underscore, backbone, modernizer, CK editor. These are all by default, and there are new versions of them. The latest probably when Drupal 8 will be released. A side effect of this is that Internet Explorer 8 will no longer be supported. That's a good thing. In general, for some of you, in some conditions, this will be a bad. If you have legacy customers or big corporations that have old computers and IE8 on them, this will be a problem. To work around this, there is a module, IE8 I think it's called, that basically downgrades jQuery from 2 to 1.9. I think that's the only thing it does. And you can just enable that module and it's basically the reverse of jQuery update in Drupal 7. Yeah. Thank you. Now if you have questions, all yours.
Have you tried to use the states API on file